Thank you, Shorty.
Yeah. Can you guys see it now?
Yep.
All right, cool. So we had the pump, right? Short cover rally that they dipped, and then we know what happened yesterday, right? It just looked. If you look at the volume, it just did not look real. And then if you got, I mean, I mentioned it that they're gonna give this back quickly, and I mean, it couldn't be quicker. I didn't think they're gonna do it all in one day today, but hey, a lot of good plays today. When you look at the weekly, we'll go there, but there was a lot of signs that they're going to dump it. Being unable to build value above 62 was the first sign. And then once they fell inside, they really accelerated. So with that being said, obviously in the lowercase b, so if we want to run this, for me, I know the PD POC is at 08, but really for me, the June POC is playing a big role here. We came multiple times as support, rejection, over, and then we know we had that VPOC at 42.25, I believe. That's now obviously gone. Well, let me go in 30 minutes so you guys can see the real POCs. It was this POC here. So 19 to 25 is still the area that we got to watch out for. It wouldn't be a bad idea if you guys look at this, from this section right here all the way down. You could use this almost as as a consolidation. You don't have to include this day if you don't want to. Majority of the volume happened on the bottom anyways, so even if you go somewhere around here, it's not going to hurt much. I'm just going to include the whole day, so I know, I'm not going to tell you half day of this day. Including this whole day. This is art, not science. And now if you look at it, it's still kind of at that 22 level, 21 level. It's still within the range, so that's going to be the pivot for me for upside. It's going to be here. And then we see that, this 43.74 level is, I guess, the first SIG, and it's a structure low. It's not a true consolidation just because this is, they had a lot of excess at the top and they explored prices a lot lower here. So it's not a real consolidation. I'm just using it to give me a profile and also this POC. I don't care much about the extremes at the moment. I care about this POC here. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and then PD value, a lot of levels I messed up here. Okay. And then when you look at the, the 65 minutes and the weekly profile, this gets a little interesting now. Watch this. I'm gonna hide the dailies. No. So this is pretty cool. If you guys remember, we talked about this level being super important, right? They held, which was previous week value area low. They held that level. They pumped it right over the POC, right, which was very close here. They took that over and then they never looked back and they went to the opposite extreme. They went above this level here and they failed basically to build any value. So they went up here and then you see the acceleration from here to the node here. Once they lost this node, it was pretty much targeting 43.85 the whole time with some hiccups, back. It's never going to go into the, just straight down like it did here, but it happens, right? If you happen to catch the right move, it's going to pay great. I was expecting 43.85-ish today. We got it, which is pretty decent, run from 44.80 to 43.80. So now on the downside, what do you guys want to see? Anyone?
3,500.
No, I mean, what level do you have to break?
I'm just kidding.
The June value area low.
Well, first target, if you want to short, is 43.81, this PV-POC. If we are able to break that, the probability of us actually hitting this pre-PV value area low plus 4 or 5 points becomes very, very high. I would say I would target probably around 43.55 or so in this case, but there's a really, really high probability that we're going to be going there tomorrow if we fail here, right? I don't know if JPOW is before or after, like 8:30, 9:30, but obviously it's going to be volatile tomorrow. If you can stomach, the playing tomorrow, I suggest that, maybe avoid playing till 3 p.m. or so. It's coming close to a month end, so I do expect a lot of fireworks midday tomorrow. For me, if they're able to go above 19, I'm gonna go long, and I'll probably, swing a few calls for SPY for next Wednesday or so if they're able to reclaim this. As of right now, we're still in the weekly balance, and you see the value area of this previous week is what? Twice as big as this value area, though, even though the range of this week is what? It's very close to being, close to this one here. But concentration of volume was mainly here. And then they basically pushed it here. And now if we lose this value area low, what's the next value area low that's important? The June value area low plus previous week value area low. So that would pretty much be the magnet for us. And I think the 77 level, I think there's liquidity that they haven't really swept here. And then this 72, yeah. So we'll watch this level, the low, but as long as they lose this 81, we'll see what happens, right? Because there's a decent, I would probably wait for, I would have to wait for this low to be taken out, and then we could potentially short this down. If we do push the PD value area low tonight, I would take that short. So most likely we'll leave an order here somewhere tonight, see if they push into it. Because today was the most aggressive selling day in the past 2 months. If you guys look at your deltas, and so it tells you somebody knows something. To me, at least that's what it looks like. Somebody's aware of something for tomorrow. And I'm seeing reports of people being locked out of their Robinhood accounts. And last time that happened was like March 2020. So just keep an eye on it. So we're gonna short this, and then bigger picture, right? If we do lose this level, I do think that 42.90 can happen tomorrow, right? If we lost 80 points, I would say today, 80 points down from here, is that too much to ask for? I don't think so. I think we can go definitely here tomorrow. If he says something along the lines that it's bearish, we can dump there, right? And then you have this weekly VPOC here, and it happens to be the May value area high. And this is really where, if you just zoom out, maybe go on daily, would you guys say that this is really where the imbalance started? Like if you look at this, just zoom out a little bit. So this is, man, why are these colors? I'll blame them dirty.
I don't use red boxes. I don't even use boxes.
Yeah, but if you look at this, right, this is the consolidation that took for, a very long time, from January all the way to June. And then, we dipped down, they had a market makers pattern and then popped. So I would really expect that they come back and test this 41.90, and they could catch. And I say that, bounce, some of you guys take that literally and like, we're going to turn bullish. There's a bullish trend and there's a bounce. A bounce and a bearish trend is just a dead cat bounce. When you're in an uptrend, right? And hopefully you guys get that. If you're making higher highs and higher lows, and we're looking for a bounce, those bounces need to start making higher highs. Would I expect that from this level to make a higher high on a daily? Does anyone expect that?
Lower high?
Not on the daily.
No, I wouldn't expect it. I would have, once we execute this, that looks like a head and shoulders right here. If you're to execute that, right, and some people measure it, right, it's a measured move. So what is that? 6%. So just a healthy pullback. So it's what, 605. So somewhere around here, which is 40.86. And if we were to, let's say, grab this area here, yeah. Look at the level here, 41.40. I doubt that we would explore this that way. My first target, bearish longer periods here, second one's here, and I'll be cautious on this one. And if we lose this level, what happens? I mean, it's fairly obvious, right?
3900s.
I mean, it literally can dump, you know, hit the bottom of the range probably within a week or so. So these are the big levels that I would watch on the smaller time frames. We really need to reclaim this June POC to gain any traction, right? For me to turn a little bit, not necessarily bullish, but not to be as bearish right now, because everybody's going to be buying puts here, and the sell-off maybe got excited, some of the bears, and they just do the opposite tomorrow. Okay. So, but if we break this 43.51, I expect this to be hit, guys. This is great. All these little gaps, contract flips, sure. They don't care about that. They're gonna go here. Okay. Any questions on this? Everybody clear? Okay. On SPY, we're coming up to the level that's fairly important, right? So this is the range where we bounce from. If they don't bounce tomorrow from here, this is just a very nasty candle. Some of the candles that I haven't seen like this in a while. I mean, it's a total bearish engulfing candle of almost, you know, encapsulating
3
three
days.
candles there. Yeah. So if you want to go, if you, and do you guys recall the 445 from like 10 weeks ago when I said 445 breaks, it starts a down cycle? Does anyone remember that? Maybe not, but
A little bit.
445 is a really, really important guy for SPY. If they can't reclaim 445, it's troubling. And today, I don't know if you guys checked, but some of the Q puts went down 10,000%. It went from like I think like $35 to like 3,500. And that's the power of options, right? It's, you don't have to put a lot, but you know, it's a gamble at that point because you're playing so far out of the strike. But moves like that happen, right? So now we honestly have to break the zone here. And the zone has to be broken, you know, not necessarily break it like this, stop there and then have a green volume. We need this candle tomorrow to, the PDL tomorrow is fairly important. This level, if you're trading options, and I might, because what do you guys think is going to happen tomorrow? Sir J Powell speaks. What happens with Wicks?
Ivy.
Ivy is gonna spike, but once he finishes speaking, that Ivy is gonna drop like fast. So you have to wait a little bit. You know, don't be in a rush to get a trade at 10 a.m., 10:30, crazy candles. I suggest that, you know, just wait a little bit. Let them settle the dust. Let them, you know, lose the Ivy. Let it kind of explode, but not in your contracts, right? So if you're gonna play any contract, suggest that you wait probably till afternoon. Okay, and this is the ultimate target on SPY for me, 411, 410. This range here. Okay. Is Tesla? Oh, man, there goes Tesla. Tesla made a lower low. I should have stuck with my puts on Tesla. I'll be in the money here. Apple puts, bearish piercing. So we're probably headed to 173 tomorrow. If we, bad news, we're here tomorrow on Apple. So, or eventually here by end of next week. Okay. What else do you guys have? Any questions on maybe footprints or? So here's the footprints. You do have a sell side imbalance if you're using 30 minutes. Anything less than 30 minutes on imbalances is a lot more risk than, you know, using this. And here you guys can see that this level here, 44.60, if by any chance, let's say we get a spike up because of JPOW tomorrow, I would make sure that you guys find this level here. And there's another level that's tied to this. Does anyone know on top of their head what level is at 44.62? Come on, we just covered the ES.
This is a previous week value area high.
Previous week all area high is there. It's right here at 44.62. So that level is super, super duper important. Obviously, they tried to defend it here on PD value area high, and then they tried to defend this one. And you see they had a decent push pre-market, and then they dumped, failed to go higher. They made equal highs here and dump. Okay, so that level fairly important along with. So I'll keep that up. And then if you guys go on daily here, I just want to show you something. So if you go on a daily here, for instance, and you go check the delta, right, from here and go all the way back, go more, let's go 3 months worth of data. Do you see delta spiking anywhere more? Negative. So negative 42,000. Look at this. So we can only go up to here, I believe. That's where the contract switched. So for the past, 3 months, this has been the strongest selling day that the market has had today.
Yeah, and the move coincides with that.
Yeah, I mean, a very good move. I would say this was, I thought it was fairly easy to trade today.
How does it look on 4 hours?
Say it again.
Like, how does delta look on 4 hours?
Oh, it just looks just as bad. I mean, here delta was negative 19 at 10 a.m., which is, and the important part is this imbalance here on the bullish side, look what they did to it. I mean, they just destroyed it. So whoever bought here, yeah, that's the imbalance there as well. So this imbalance, I would definitely make sure I have this, your guys' charts. But overall, I would say really bearish. And when I looked back, and I mean, I saw this on Apple, the same exact setup happened on Apple. If you guys look right here, right? Let me go on daily. And you look at this where we dumped. What do we say from, what is the volume accumulation setup? Where would you grab stuff? Anyone? Did you grab this? Because it's a rotation happening here, or like consolidation, whatever you want to call it.
Distribution.
And look where we rejected that bad boy. Pretty close. Right into it. So rotation happened, and then you see the rotations happening now. We are in a lower rotation here. So if you're to go on candles, right, you see the rejection happened perfectly here. And I would say, if you go on the weekly now, maybe 6 months. Here's your weekly view of that candle. So what do you guys think?
Negative delta is pretty big the last 3 weeks.
I mean, I've been selling it ever since we got above 4,300. Ever since we entered June, it's been selling aggressively, besides this one here. So it's, and this was the only tried push here, and look how the candle looks right now.
That is one fugly candle.
Yeah. It could mean reversal, right? So if we don't take out this low here this week, it could very well mean reversal, depending what you know, the gentleman says tomorrow. But where's the next rotation? I'm just trying to see if you guys can train your eye a little bit to look. Where's the next rotation that you see here happening?
Around the 41,
Paper to me.
68 area.
Yeah, good job, Dad. So you see one literally happening right here, right? There's one happening here, and then the major one, right, is kind of like right around here. Let me do this. Let me do 5 years, and it's not going to go back because the contract. So you know, obviously, my favorite thing to do is, you know, grab from here to here, and see what comes up. And this is not gonna, for some reason, for me, and this platform doesn't carry this volume. But look where the POC is that we rejected today. Low, up, came back to. Okay. So. I think they're gonna push the PD val area low or the secret supply on 65 minutes. All right, well, I'll be live tomorrow, and I'll discourage you guys from trading in the happy hour of JPOW, but other than that, I think we should be okay tomorrow.
Okay.
Shorty,
All right, guys.
Thanks,
See you
Shorty.
guys. Have a good one.
I'm sorry.